actually, real quick, since we're kind of at an intermission point, I'm going to be talking about Iron Lung next week because I'm gonna see. Tomorrow. I'm watching it with my cousin, and uh, I've heard great things, and I'm very impressed with how well it's performed, at least financially. It's so amazing that it's beating uh, Send Help and Melania. I think that's incredible. It's crazy. It's beating Sam Raimi, or it's beaten Sam Raimi. What do you mean? Okay, it's beating Sam Raimi and it's beating the First Lady. So that's pretty impressive, and it's from a self-funded $3 million film. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. You need to watch it. I need to watch it. I can't wait. I meant to watch it. I wanted to watch it last weekend, but I got bogged down with a bunch of homework stuff, and it just didn't happen. But I'm gonna see it tomorrow. Tickets are bought. So next week, I'll say it at the end of the stream, but real quick, next week, only heard bad things. Rose lying, directing in tiny space. I don't know, man. Hey, I haven't seen it. Okay, so if it's bad, I'll say it's bad. But regardless, I'm gonna praise it right now for taking on Disney. It was doing so well. They took it off the charts for like a day. I don't know if apparently it was a glitch. I don't know if that's true. I think that people slow burn, but some people didn't like it. See, I'll probably like it if it's slow burn. I'm a big fan of slow burn. I like that kind of thing. If it's good, if it's just boring exposition for an hour and then 30 or 40 minutes of action, I won't like it. But if it's actually truly building up, then yeah. Uh, but I just think it's impressive, and it's impressive, first of all, that it was $3 million and made about $21 million, whereas Send to Help cost $40 million and made $28 million, I think, maybe 30 now, because last I checked yesterday it was $28 million, so it lost a bunch of money. And we don't even know about the marketing figures because they don't show that, like I mentioned earlier. Whereas I believe Iron Lung was pretty much only marketed through like Markiplier and his social media presence and word of mouth. Also, this is something interesting, is that so Markiplier had what was it? Solid fan base. Yes, he was in a good position because of the fan base. I will say that. Obviously, not anyone can just do what he did and be successful, but he also his film was screened in less theaters than Send Help, by the way, and it still beat Send Help. It's pretty crazy. And I think Melania played in less theaters than both of them. And Melania lost a lot of money. But again, I mean, I probably won't look at Melania, but what was I going to say? No, I think it's very impressive that a self-funded YouTuber is beating Disney out. And like a bunch of other pretty big films and big names. It's pretty impressive. It's self-funded too. He didn't rely on big mega corporations or anything like that. It's just impressive. But yeah, I'll give my feedback on the story as well. But I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a more financial dive mixed with story. So I'll probably do like I'll probably do a story dive in the beginning, and then halfway through the stream or whenever I'm done with it, if I have time, I'll talk about the financials, or maybe I'll turn that into a video. I'm not sure. I like that he spent his own money to make something really cool his own way with no studio limits. Yes, I agree. Oh shoot, hold on. I almost thought I gave myself a bloody nose for a second. No, it is really cool. It's especially cool that, it's all self-funded, and I mean, we'll see if it's good. Okay, you're not very optimistic, Mr. Luke Park Cinema, but yeah, I hope it's good. Yeah, I mean, $3 million is not really that much. I mean, you guys know, but for general moviegoers out there, if you watch this on the re-upload, $3 million is nothing. That is like chump change. It's crazy, but like Disney thinks it has to spend $500 million to make money. What are you talking about? You don't. It made Iron Lung made 7 times its budget back. It made so much money that Markiplier is paying bonuses to all his crew, which we don't see that in studios or big budget films ever. I hope that catches on. That's beautiful. Imagine this. Let's just pause for a second. I'm going on a tangent away from Lord of the Rings, but it's necessary. Um, it's like a rug pull. What are you talking about? How is it a rug pull? What do you mean? It's not at all like a rug pull. You're not what? No, it's not. What does that even mean? You're just saying stuff, man. Uh, but let's pause for a second. Imagine, just imagine for a second if one time thing. Wait, so you're saying like it's not a replica, like a not a system that's I can't say the word for some reason. It's not sustainable. You mean like that? Like it won't happen again? Did you hear that the main lead of Iron Lung slept with the director's? Wait, what? The main lead of Iron Lung slept with the director's wife and still. Oh, is that a joke because he directed and acted in it? I don't. Wait, is that a joke? There's no shot that that's like. Because isn't he the director and the actor? Okay, yeah, it is a joke. I couldn't. Okay, that was crazy. You almost got me. That's so funny. No, I forgot that he directed and acted in it for a second. No, like he can do it once, but he can't do it twice because everyone will know it's not going to be good. I don't. I see what you mean. Like if you mean like sequelitis, where like if you try to do it again, replicate it again, it's gonna be bad. I could see that happening. I'm not saying him particularly. I mean I think he set the stage for more independent films to make it. Because, I mean, again, he has a lot of advantages that most self-funded creators don't have. He has a huge audience that he's built for over like 15 years. He has a lot of money. Obviously, he has a lot of social media reach and brand reach. I'm sure he's. I don't watch Markiplier really. I did a little bit back in the day, but I'm sure he has a ton of brand deals and things that he worked into the film. Maybe. Regardless, he's in a very good position compared to most independent filmmakers who don't have a social media presence and don't have the influencer power to like generate an audience like that. You know? Because he is a brand. Markiplier is a brand, which is what you need if you're going to do what he's doing successfully, which he has done successfully right now. Will it be sustainable for him? I don't know. I don't know if he wants to make more movies. Does he? I need to do more research after I watch the film. Because he could very well make... Because it's based off a video game, and a lot of video game movie adaptations are bad. So if it's a good he does want to make more, okay, well, then hopefully he doesn't just think that... I don't think he does, but it seems like a lot of people who are one-hit wonders and then they try to replicate it aren't successful. He thinks he's... I don't think that's true. He does not think he's for Coppola now. No, he doesn't. Come on now. You're a hater. You're a hater. You're biased. But let's say he tries it again and it doesn't work. He still has opened the door to more independent creators making independent films and getting them in theaters. That's for damn sure. I mean, he's also partnered with like Regal Cinemas to make that popcorn bucket. He's doing all this, and I know like obviously a lot of movies have their own popcorn bucket. I'm not saying that that's like genius. It's not like it's just like PewDiePie songs being on Billboard. Is that real? I don't know about that. Is that the same though as a movie? I'm just saying that he set the stage for people to be successful movie makers without a studio backing, which is huge. I feel like most people don't know that that's possible. It is totally possible, and he proved it. And he proved that you can actually be more successful than the studio. It's huge. It's a huge win for independent film, and not even independent film. It's a huge win against Hollywood for people who want like good movies, or at least real movies that aren't trying to like feed you slop or a formula movie. You know what I mean? If any filmmaker got 3 mil, it's always possible. I don't know if that's true necessarily, because what's his name? Chris Stuckman got 3. Well, no, Chris Stuckman was backed by by Neon, right? Chris Stuckman, he got 2.5. Shoot, how much? I think he got 2.5 million, and he made less than that on his film. What's it called? Oaks, Shelby Oaks. He made Shelby Oaks, and he got backing. He got okay. This is crazy. It's not like he made movie with nothing. No, I know he didn't make a movie with nothing, but he self-funded it. That's the point. And again, I already mentioned he has a lot of advantages that most independent filmmakers make. But if filmmakers, and especially independent filmmakers, learned from Markiplier and cultivated, made themselves into a brand to sell people the product, which is the movie, then you would be getting more independent films in the theaters, and you'd not only be cultivating more of an independent film scene that is exposing itself to the broader demographic of moviegoers, but you're also kind of helping out the movie theater industry too, because it's a great for them because they get to show something that's might be a little different or experimental or unique, like the Markiplier movie, like Iron Lung, and you're gonna get more sales probably than like a crappy Marvel movie, which people go for like one day. They only get ticket sales on like a couple days now, and then the next week it's like an 80% drop in sales, which is I'm sure Iron Lung is gonna keep getting more. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my theory. What was I saying? But yeah, with Shelby Oaks, that was an example of a YouTuber who tried to make a feature film and it flopped. It was also pretty bad from what I've heard. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it was pretty bad. I'm not a fan of Chris Stuckman either. I think he's a shill and a sellout. He is a sellout. He did a Wicked review, less known. Yes, but he's got millions of subscribers, and he also had the backing of Neon and Mike Flanagan, who did Haunting of Hill House, if you can believe it. That's insane. He had both a studio and a well-known writer-director backing him, and he still failed financially with his film, and story-wise, from what I've heard. Again, I haven't seen it, but I've heard terrible things about the movie. If PewDiePie made a movie in his prime, it'll be everything. Yeah, probably. He could still do that, but he's on to like computer stuff from what I understand. He's off doing like charity computer work for like solving like cancer protein thing. I don't know. I saw a video about it recently. Okay, let's. So you're saying like the fans? It's not good because of. It's good. It's because of fans. Okay, I see what you mean. Like the tickets. I'm not conflating like the financial success with the success of the film per se. I don't believe in that at all. The Thing by John Carpenter lost a ton of money at the box office, but it's a great film. But I can see why sales might be inflated by fans as opposed to general audience goers. But again, I don't think that's necessarily bad. It's kind of like a snowballing effect to get people to go see it. Like I don't think if Iron Lung came out and I didn't really care that I heard about it and I didn't really care. Personally, I didn't care that Markiplier was making a movie. I was like, okay, sure. Like that's cool, whatever. I probably won't see it cuz I mean he's like I don't know, he's a YouTuber making a movie. Like what? I'm not going to go see that. But then I heard how it was beating Hollywood and all that, and then I just kept hearing across like different social media and news outlets that it was written well and all these things. Like, okay, I guess I'll check it out. So I mean, I normally wouldn't have watched it, like if it was just based on him and his fans. I think it was the reception of me because his fans who watch. It's not going to open doors for anyone but big YouTubers. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's. I think it does. It opens up. How do I put this? it's opening. Okay, he's opening up the doors to big YouTubers, but he's also opening up the doors for independent filmmakers to change their strategy for marketing. They have to become known as people. Like think about how many people watch like Spielberg movies because it's Spielberg, or Tarantino movies because it's Tarantino. A lot of their success comes down to them as people, because they are almost like their films are working off the brand of like they're Tarantino movies. They're not movies by Tarantino. Does that make sense? Like, he is the brand. So Markiplier is the brand, and that, yeah, I mean, obviously that's gonna make a lot of his fans go see it. But if independent filmmakers and filmmakers in general can cultivate a brand for themselves, not just their film, they're going to pull in more people, because people like an underdog story, or they they like to know about the creator. Obviously, that's why do you think we have? I mean, look at how many streamers we have. I'm streaming right now. I wouldn't consider I'm doing. I'm not trying to say that I'm like. I'm just pointing out that there's like, indie filmmaker won't have brand until they're successful, I guess. But you gotta like, there's other ways to brand yourself than just having a film get picked up, you know? Like, you can do what Markiplier does, not saying play games or whatever, like exactly what he does, but you kind of have to commercialize the process, or like, you got to put yourself out there more, is what I'm saying. I think that nowadays we're seeing a lot. People like to see the creators on screen. We're seeing that with all the stream culture is huge now. It's everywhere, and you're able to when you're able to talk to your audience and have a relationship with your audience, they're more likely to support you than like seeing, oh, this random guy I've never seen or heard talk about anything is making a movie. Like, Markiplier talks to his fans. There's so many videos of him even after the film talking about how thankful he is and how all these things. And it's great. It's great. I mean, I think he's being genuine, but it's also great marketing, because then those clips of him being grateful and thankful are going to get spread like wildfire, which they are, and that's going to drive even more people to see his film, because they're seeing how like happy he is and how many people supported him. So it's like, oh, I want to see this movie. It's like FOMO. He's creating, and I'm not saying like he's doing anything malicious by posting those videos. I think those are definitely like genuine, but at the end of the day, it is also marketing, and most independent filmmakers don't have that. No, they're not seen. They don't have a face really to put or a face to put to the name for. They don't have a fan base either. You need kind of to have a fan base, you know. And if you have a fan base, that means that you have customers, so to speak, or theoretical customers. And I'm not trying to say that fans are just consumers or customers at all. I'm just saying, if you're looking at it from like a marketing or business standpoint, your fan base is likely going to be your customer as well. And there are also modes to pull in more customers, because they are going to be sharing your content. Indie filmmakers can't make a fan base like that because they can't. But okay, I agree. Yeah, you can't do. They're not going to just do YouTube for decades to get popular. But you can work on independent films and market them, like market the process, or like do something related to film. I mean, I guess kind of what I'm doing. I don't know. Like, you gotta. And I'm putting it out there. I'm not saying it's a proven method, because I'm just saying Markiplier is just showing that it might be possible. I think that we need independent filmmakers need to just brand themselves better. I'm not saying necessarily YouTube fully. You can do Instagram. You can do anything, and it doesn't have to be like streaming every day forever. I'm just saying, take some elements of what Markiplier has done to build a fan base, apply that to yourself as a filmmaker, and build like a following, like in that sense, like a personality, so that people like. You got to be charismatic. You got to show people that you're interesting, that you're worth them giving money to if you were to do a project. You know what I mean? that you're trustworthy, that you're genuine, that you're authentic. Because an indie filmmaker on like what if I see an indie filmmaker at a convention or like a film festival, I just think it's Elon having side quests. Oh, like what Markiplier's doing is a side quest? I mean, sure, but it doesn't disqualify that he could be onto something with his method. Even if it is like a one-hit wonder, it's still showing that it's possible. Again, this is just theory. I'm not saying it's true, like it's gonna work. I'm just saying that he's opened some doors, and it's pretty interesting how many people have latched onto his film, even as like it's new, like all across the nation. It seems like obviously has a big fan base, but the whole world seems to be talking about his movie. But it's possible if you got 3 million. Well, yeah, okay. Well, now we're going in circles. I've already explained that like he has certain advantages that other people don't. But you can take elements of his strategy and apply them to yourself. I'm not saying you specifically, but in general terms, a filmmaker could apply those things. It's not like he made with 20K. True, but look at Paranormal Activity. They made that for about 20K, and it made almost $1 billion, or it made $1 billion. And yet that did have a studio. I'll say that. It did have, I don't think it was heavily marketed, but it did have a studio and Jason Blum, who's a great producer behind it. But that was made with 20K, and it made $1 billion. And at that point, Blumhouse was still really small. Are you talking about Blumhouse right now when you say indie people can't do what he did, or are you talking about Markiplier? I don't think they can do it now. I'm not saying they're in the position to do it what he did right now. I think that people can work. Okay, Iron Lung, yeah. I think that you can apply his strategy elements. I'm not saying just get a 3 million self-funded or get build it however many. I mean, tens of millions of. How many fans does he have? He must have a lot of fans. However, I'm not saying you have to build a. Blumhouse is a better example for indie. Okay, yeah, I do need to do a video on Blumhouse because I've done a lot of research on them, and they have like one of the highest. They have the highest return of investment, at least. Okay, financially speaking, they are technically the most successful production company out there. They have the highest return on investment for films across the board, outdoing Disney. Disney, on average, across the last 10 or so years, has made 700% back, which sounds like a lot until you hear that Blumhouse has made 5,000% back on their films, blowing Disney straight out of the water. Plus, Disney is in the downward spiral right now with all their films flopping left and right, getting written off. Like the Wile E. Coyote movie, I think that was Disney. That movie got put in a vault. Tax write-off, $30 million film written off for tax purposes, likely. Meanwhile, Blumhouse can take like $5 to $10 million and make, I don't know, like hundreds of millions of dollars off $10 million. Like what? And then they can, even if it flops, they make so many movies a year on such a low budget that one win can recoup all the losses of like 2 or 3 wins. Studios will try to make YouTuber movies now. Oh God, you might be right. I hope not. Oh my God, could you imagine? They're like just getting all these. I mean, they're kind of doing that with video games because they have like people voice act in them, like YouTubers and stuff. I hope they don't try to like co-op. No, not co-op. What's the word? I hope they don't just start putting YouTubers in charge of things all of a sudden because they think that's the strat. But sorry for the long tangent. I should be getting back to Lord of the Rings, considering I've been going for almost 2.5 hours. But my last point on I should speed directing melodrama. Could you imagine? That would be insane. Queso, a Star Wars story. Uh, Okay, well, I won't keep going down this tangent because it's gonna take. I could talk about this for hours on end. Maybe I'll have to do a stream about it at some point. I do want to do a video about it because I have some data that I've been slowly building up about Blumhouse and Disney and Warner Brothers and how their ROI versus budget. So it's a bit more of a financial. It would be like kind of a financial video or stream, but I just think it's really interesting how like it's crazy how on it like face value if you just search up the budget and box office of a film it looks like a Disney film does really well, but it really does terribly. Most of them do so bad. It's absurd. And I'm sure it's written off or whatever, but it's also like it's just crazy cuz I could go. I don't want to get into it right now. I could do a whole stream about it. But my point with Iron Lung, I don't even know how we started talking about Iron Lung. But my point with Iron Lung and Markiplier is that there are things to be learned from him. I'm not saying his like what he did is like totally 1,100%, even 50% replicable, but there are elements to what he did in his strategy that are um Disney makes merch or makes money out of merch. Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not saying that they're a failing company. I do think their movies are failing lately. Uh, they make tons of money off their parks are the most profitable part of the Disney, which is I think that's crazy. I guess it makes sense because people spend like 20 grand on a hotel, and they get like that millions of people a year. I'm not saying Disney's failing. I think they're failing in the film department, but they're a cash cow. They're never gonna stop making money. Disney's never gonna like go out of style, but they are lacking in the film department. I mean, now they exist in a world where they can put everything to streaming and recoup that through stream views or whatever, however that works, and then they can even lie or withhold how much money they make by going direct to streaming, which I hate. I hate that they can do that because then you can't see. You can't see if it made money or if it's successful anymore because it's direct to streaming. Uh, Anyways, I need to stop going on this tangent. Let's get back to Lord of the Rings. I'll do it. We'll talk more about this next week with Iron Lung, hopefully.